Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Teacher Jackie. And today let us talk about the basics of paragraph composition. Minsan, naiinis talaga tayo sa writing composition. Kasi minsan pinapabalik-balik tayo ng ating mga teachers sa pagsusulat. Lalo na kapag may mga mechanics of writing na hindi natin napafollow or nasusunod. Way back when we had our face-to-face classes, maraming papel ang grade points dun sa basurahan. Ngayon, hindi na ganun kasi wala naman si teacher sa tabi mo na makapagsasabi agad-agad kung ang iyong ginagawa ba ay tama o hindi. That's why for today, I am going to remind you of the things that you're supposed to do with your writing composition. Simulan na natin. In my previous video lesson, itong lesson na ito, it's all about planning a composition using an outline and other graphic organizers. That was a very important step. Before you're going to write, you have to brainstorm ideas so that when you are going to start writing, your content will be relevant and organized. But of course, when you are going to write, maybe you have the content, maybe you have a very good idea about the topic. But the problem there is you lack the mechanics of writing. So how are you going to write a paragraph composition? Now in the 5th week of quarter 2 in English grade 6, we are going to write a 4-paragraph composition showing comparison and contrast. Plan your composition before writing the draft. Since we are not expert yet, you are going to write a draft. Huwag ka munang magsasabi na, pa-finalize ko na to, nakakapagod magsulat. Patience is virtue. Those who are very good writers, they've been through a lot. The tips that I can give you in writing this paragraph is, first, plan what you are going to write. Second is, make a draft. Ito yung parang temporary writing. Ibubuhos mo lahat ng nag-isip mo using the ideas that you have in your brainstorming. Tapos, ilalahad mo sila in an organized way. Hindi yung kung ano lang ang nasa isip, yun na, agad na yun. You should know how to organize your thoughts, your ideas. And how are you going to do that? We have some guide questions for you. Those guide questions should serve as the structure of your composition. Plan first, brainstorm first, make a draft, and then finalize your draft. When you're going to finalize your draft, that's the time that you are going to think of the mechanics of writing that you have to apply in your write-up. What are the things that you need to remember so that your writing will be gracefully accepted by your teacher? Let's begin with proper margin. Ito yung nasa left and right portion of your paper. Huwag kang magsulat dun sa pinaka-dulo ng walang hanggan. Nakakaloka yun. So, you should have 1 inch on each side. Yun yung tinatawag nating margin. Tapos sasabihin mo, okay lang yun teacher, pwede naman natin i-encode. Now, even if we are going to encode your work, there is still proper margin to follow. And you will know that one better, especially when you're going to the next grade levels in the curriculum. And I want to emphasize to these kids, you are now in the grade 6 level. So I hope hindi nyo nalulukutin yung papel. Ito yung 1 inch, tapos naka-fold pang ganon. Nakakaloka yun. You are not going to use a ruler or to fold your paper para masabi natin ito yung 1 inch. It's just an imaginary line on your paper. Okay? Another thing is the indentation and spacing. Indentation is at the beginning of the paragraph, you are not going to write on the margin agad-agad. Indentation refers to the space that you are going to leave blank at the beginning of each paragraph. Count 5 spaces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, bago ka magsisimula sa first letter ng iyong first paragraph. For the first word of your first paragraph. And it will also follow on the next paragraph. So, the first line will be indented, tapos magsusulat ka hanggang sa dulo, dun sa margin mo, tapos you go on the margin on the second line. Yun yung indentation. Another thing is the spacing. Nagwa-wonder talaga ako, kids, bakit ang iba kapag ka nagsusulat, yung mga words parang yung mga words ay magkadikit. Walang space. We have to put space in each word para makahinga naman sila, makawa naman kayo. And another thing is, after you finish a sentence, you are going to have a dot, right? Period. O kaya question mark. Depende sa sentence na ginawa mo. After the punctuation mark, you should have a space bago ka magsimula sa next word. That is for indentation and spacing. Heto naman, capitalization of letters. When we are going to write a composition, hindi tayo dapat gumagamit ng capital letters from beginning to end. We have to show which one is capitalized and which one is not, because it is a formal composition. So, dapat ay alam natin kung kailan gagamitin ang capitalization of letters. So, napaka-basic naman nun. So, when we are going to start with a sentence, we begin with a capital letter. Yung mga proper nouns, mga pangalan ng specific na tao, specific na lugar, o ng mga bagay, mga brands, iba pa, yun ay naka-capital letters. So, dapat ay alam natin kung kailan gagamitin ang capital letters. Dun din sa pagsusulat ng title. So, each word should begin with a capital letter, maliban nga lang if the word is just an article. Yung mga mahahalagang salita in our titles should begin with capital letters. Of course, proper use of punctuation marks. So, if you're going to ask a question, you're going to use the question mark. If it's just a statement, you're going to put a period at the end of the sentence. Yung mga tipong ganun, huwag kalimutan yon. Those are very important little things. And of course, this one. If we're going to write a composition, especially if nasa public po tayo, I can remember my teacher very well when I was in elementary years. Tinuturuan po niya kami ng cursive kasi sabi niya, cursive is a formal way of writing. Maybe you would say, hindi na yan importante, teacher, kasi naka-encode na tayo ngayon. Hindi naman tayo nagka-cursive dun sa computer. Well, siguro may point nga na lahat naman ng ginagawa natin ngayon ay pwede na sa computer. Ini-encode natin. Napakagandang tingnan kapag ka-encoded, diba? But, cursive writing is a trademark in the Department of Education, especially sa public schools. Proud po ako doon. Cursive writing is a formal way of writing, and because we are learners, it's important that we can have the skill of writing in cursive. Tips if you're going to write a composition about comparing and contrasting something. The first paragraph will be an introduction. This will introduce the topic of what you are going to write about. So for example, you're going to write about a comparison and contrast of a mother and a father. So these are two different personalities. So what are you going to do is to talk about your topic, which is about a mother and a father. So that is for the first paragraph. Usually, the introduction will just have 3 to 5 sentences. The body, which is the second and the third paragraph, will talk about their similarities and differences. Similarities might come first. What are those characteristics and traits that they have na parang magkakatulad sila doon? Okay? So, things that they do together, they love together. So, ano yung mga magkatulad sila? So, that will be for the second paragraph. You can have at least 5 sentences for the second and third paragraphs. And third paragraph will be about how they are different from each other. So you can enumerate things there that they don't do together or things that they are just really different about. And then you are going to have the last paragraph. The last paragraph is more or less like the introduction, and you can have it like 3 to 5 paragraphs. Unlike the introduction, the fourth paragraph summarizes your points about your mother and father or the topic itself. So you're going to summarize points about the topic and then you're going to close it. So introduction is like opening it. So when you're going to reach the last paragraph, you are going to close it. Please, if you're going to submit, do not forget to write your name. Your name should be on your output because how are we going to grade you if we don't know who owns that very beautiful composition? So I hope you have learned something from me today. This is Teacher Jackie saying bye-bye.